Welcome to this What's New, it's actually What's Old in a sense, key updates in our learning documentation for developers. In this session, I'm going to show you new guidance documentation, a lot of places for developers, for AL developers, going through things like data analytics, reporting, error handling, and so on. So action-packed agenda, let's go. The first thing is a new developer documentation overview with its own AKA link. So the new AKA link, aka.ms/BC developer, takes you to this section in the Administration and Dev IT Pro documentation. I'll just quickly dive in there, and then we'll just keep it to slides for the rest of this so that it's going to be not so long and hopefully less boring. All right, so here's the new AKA link, and if I go there, it takes me to the development part of documentation here. There are a few things, at least for you to understand why we organized it like this. The first is that there is things on getting started, about the development environment, VS Code, and so on. And then there are two very similar sections here. One is programming in the AL language, and the other one is the AL programming language. What's the difference here? Well, programming in the AL language is a list of sections that describe how to do various things. And many of these are related to the actual data types in AL, not necessarily the language constructs. The language constructs is what you find in the AL programming language. This is where we explain things like what's a method, how to do for loops or its iterators, variables, and so on. And then there's a new kid on the block here, data analytics and reporting, and extensibility. So we'll go a little bit into these top-level topics. So the first topic, new topic, is data analytics for developers. This section is about how to think about analytics for customers, because analytics is no longer just write a report and give it to the customer. There are many different artifacts in analytics. It could be a query, it could be data analysis on a list or a query. It could be a Power BI report or an Excel layouted report, and so on. So all these different ways to think about analytics is explained in this new part of docs. Why you would use one over the other, and then with links to how to actually do each of them. So go check that out if you work with customer analytics. The second topic is reporting, in general reporting. So we gave the reporting documentation a huge write through. Hopefully everything that you need is covered under this developing report section. Everything you need from how to deal with reports, basically anything we know that there is to reporting in general. So go check that out, at least know what's there, so that, because I think you would notice that a lot of the things back from Seaside days has evolved a lot over the years. And in particular, word layouts also got a huge overhaul in documentation. So there's a new article on everything related to document reporting with word layouts. Anything on from how to design data sets that works well with word layouts, how to lay out different things. Actually, all the questions you had on how to do things with Word should be here. So go check this out. If word layouts was kind of a mystery before, I'm pretty sure that you will find a lot of new useful things, and hopefully this will also help you transition from RDL into a word layout world, but in particular for document reports. A huge topic for stability is error handling. And for error handling, we also added a new section with everything you need to know when reasoning over errors. And the first article here is exactly that, reasoning about errors. So think about how to do failure modeling, how to do robust coding. A lot of the reference articles in docs actually was changed with robust coding practices in mind. So they have examples of how to use a particular method and code robust for it. This also have things on understanding the error dialog, call stacks or stack traces, how to do actionable errors, how to make error messages that are meaningful to the user, and so on. So if you could not deflect an error situation with a good error message or error handling, troubleshooting would be the next thing to look into. And there's a new troubleshooting overview part of the documentation that both give you an indication or an idea of the different tools you have for troubleshooting, as well as new content on what we call TSGs or troubleshooting guides in many different areas. So go check the troubleshooting guides out, and also the troubleshooting tools, in case you need to troubleshoot something for a customer. When thinking about performance, perceived performance is a key thing, because it might be that you cannot make something go faster, make the time shorter, but maybe you can delegate that to run in the background, and that's what we mean when we talk about async processing. So there's a new overview here on the different ways to do it. You can spin off a new session, page background tasks, task scheduler, job queue, and so on. What's the difference between these? And with links to the documentation for them, all of that is here in this running things in the background section. Telemetry is not only for people in the basement, it's also a tool for you as a developer. And the section for telemetry for AL developers has also gotten some love. So we added new content on describing what's the difference between this scope of telemetry, we added more visibility to the feature telemetry module, which is a way for you within the system application to get a lot of telemetry features for free. So go check that out. There might be new things that you didn't know about telemetry for instrumenting your app. Security is not only for the admin, it's also for you as developer. You need to think security into your app as well. So we added a new section for how to handle security or Business Central security for AL developers, thinking about or reasoning about the way you think in security in your development lifecycle, and then going through all the topics that we think is needed for you as developer to deliver secure apps for your customers. So go check that out. Extensibility. That's not only just like a report extension and so on. We thought that extensibility is everything that is related to, as a customer, you don't care about how things were extended. So therefore we added in the new extensibility overview ways to extend in AL, but also think about extensibility as a way if you extend the app by making changes to or suggest changes to the system foundational layer, system app, or the base app. That's also a way to extend. It's just a way to extend where everyone else gets your extension. Client extensions, using Power BI to extend. All the ways we think of how you can extend Business Central for a customer is here in the extensibility overview. Finally, all of these docs would not be here, all these changes would not be there if you didn't tell us about them. And you might have some expertise about a particular area where docs could be better. Why not simply do a pull request to that? And the best way I find the way to get started is simply to search in docs for contribute, that takes you to the, or find that helps you find the contribute to the help article. And this takes you through how to work with GitHub, how to do a pull request and contribute to the documentation. So go-dos for you as a developer. Learn the new AKA link, aka.ms/BC developer. And if you start something new, go to Docs to start your learning. I'm pretty sure that it has the introduction level content that you need. And if in doubt, also go to Docs, because we do a lot of work to make sure that whenever you have a question on how things work, or maybe how things doesn't work, if you think about robustness, it should be in Docs. So go to Docs and see if it's not already covered. You can just search in the Learn portal. As an expert, as I mentioned, if there's something you know that isn't there, consider do a PR to help others. If all the experts in the world do that, we might have a Docs that is just so rich that it helps everyone. And if there's something in Docs completely missing where you don't have the courage to do a Docs PR, let us know, and then we know where to improve. That's it. Other relevant launch event sessions. If you are in this thinking about as an AI developer, high chance that you also want to look at the new what's new on in Visual Studio Code and AL development. There's a sister presentation to this for people working with integrations. A lot of key updates to the documentation on how Business Central integrates to the world, including web services. If you are more into the AL runtime parts, there's a new What's New session on AL runtime and database, What's New for web service functionality, and also for reporting, which in this semester we gave a lot of love to Excel layouts. As always, AKA links to learn more. If you have a question, go to Yammer, BC Yammer. BC All is the AKA link to rule them all. This is the one that takes you and shows you all the AKA links that exists for a developer or a partner. And BC Ideas is, of course, where you suggest functionality changes to Business Central. There are a number of social media platforms. We are on X and on LinkedIn. And there are office hours, both live, where you can attend, and you can watch the recording. So go check that out if you have something where you have an interest in one of these recordings. That's it. Thank you so much, and have a great launch event.